Good afternoon, folks. This is Jim Lettuce. Welcome to the Temporary Space Show. I'm Jim.
Yo, I'm Jesse.
Yo, I'm J-Mac.
And this is the Temporary Space Show. We like to say the title twice because that's how we do it.
Yeah.
On the show, we care about two things, technology and entertainment, and how these two industries affect each other. You can watch all the new episodes of the show on our official network channel. You can also download the audio version from Mixcloud. Just go to temporaryspace.net. As usual, we'll talk about certain topics, and we'll touch on the industry trends. But like last week, we're gonna carry on the trend of more or less winging it. So I want to talk about one topic before we move on to the main point of this episode. I want to talk about the Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation Now, and I guess we talked about it before. But would y'all pay for that? Like, it's basically like Netflix, but with a game.
Yeah. No, like when I initially heard about it coming out on PlayStation, I was intrigued.
Just ignore that.
Yeah, I was really intrigued.
Speak up.
I mean, for somebody who has, up until like tomorrow, been a poor-ass college... I'm still going to be poor as fuck tomorrow, but has been a poor-ass college student, like the idea of being able to like get whatever game I wanted for like a monthly subscription, like that's way more affordable than going out and dropping $60 for like a quarter of a game, because then there's DLC and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
So like ultimately games are like $200 now.
Yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah.
But I still haven't paid for it. And it's confusing because there's PlayStation Plus, which is like Xbox Live.
Yeah.
And then Xbox Live, and then the Game Pass, and PlayStation Now.
It's just too many.
Yeah, well, there's definitely a lot of competition. So I guess that's good.
I think that's a good direction, though, for them to take games, like you said, like it'd save you a lot of effort and money.
Yeah, and I guess it also lets people try out games. Like, I don't know if you guys are like me, but I like having physical copies of my game. I like having my game library, like, right there.
Dude, you should meet my brother. He's got, like, tons of... He even, like, gets the old box art if they don't have it.
Oh, yeah. Like, whenever I can do it, I get, like, the steel books, the steel, like, box books, because they just look cool.
I think you straight up said that on the last podcast. Yes.
All right, well,
I listened to it like a few weeks ago.
Oh, shit.
So we'll just go back and edit the last podcast. Whatever.
Yeah, or this one.
For the record, this is episode 6.
Yes.
Episode 6.
Okay, so before we end up saying something that I already said again, this is the Star Wars episode by request by Jesse. Jesse was like, yo, let's do a Star Wars episode. Yes. And at first, I was like, well, that doesn't really... But, like, Star Wars is the epitome of technology and entertainment.
Yeah, it's right up in there.
Right?
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's perfect. So, I'll toss the ball to you. You have a few questions to set it up?
Yeah. I figured we could just kind of examine the franchise as a whole and like see where it started and versus where it is now. I mean, I took my son to a toy store, to Toys R Us, and dude, the Star Wars shit was everywhere. Every aisle, like Legos, action figures. Star Wars has, like, they have their fingers in everything,
Oh, yeah.
It's like
the Umbrella Corporation?
Insane. Yeah. But yeah, so I wanted to kind of ask you guys, what do y'all think is like, what made the first movie so successful?
Are we talking about New Hope?
In your opinion, yeah.
Okay.
I think it just... I mean, I wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm pretty young, but like from my understanding of it, like my dad was there. He saw it like the first weekend it was playing. I think it just appealed to everyone at a time when like a lot of like movies were kind of stuck in their genres, whereas this was like sci-fi. But I mean, there was like romance, there was action, there was
Drama.
yeah, there was a little bit of everything. So it was able to appeal to a large crowd, as opposed to just like a few.
True.
You know. Yeah. Plus, it's Star Wars. I mean, and it, like now, everybody gets Star Wars references. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really like a cultural thing now, almost.
yeah.
What about you? Any ideas on what made it an instant classic?
Well, actually, we talked about this in film history class
Cool.
because, like, you know, like movies like The Godfather, that was like in the 70s, and that's when they had these like auteur directors, like in the industry, like where they would just let them do whatever they want and just throw money at them. But like Apocalypse Now, y'all know that movie?
Never saw
It was this disaster because they gave them too much money and too much leeway, and the studio almost went under, losing money. And so all these new filmmakers were coming out of the woodwork. People like George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, and they started doing, you know, like Jaws, and then Star Wars was in the 70s. That was before Jaws, and like that whole like idea of like beats in a movie, like, well, there's this protagonist, and then this happens, and then there's a problem. Like, they started that, and Star Wars was one of the first movies to, like, it was like part of this like new school of movies.
That's awesome.
So I think that played a part in it.
Dang. That's
What
cool.
about you?
Yeah. That's cool. I forgot that you took like a film history class.
Yeah, they forced me to do it.
Oh, really?
I'm sure that was so painful.
Yeah, right.
Not like bullshit calculus.
I'd have to say, for their time, the visual effects and the sound effects and the score were all like pretty big.
Yeah.
I guess on a more technical level, you guys had, I think, better answers. But yeah, like the way they filmed everything is was like all old school, and they used, I guess, I don't know, you know more about this than I do.
No, you're right though. Like the effects and shit.
Yeah.
We're like ahead of their time, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, looking back now, it's like, oh.
Yeah, it looks so dated now,
It's,
but
it's almost.
Yeah.
Not
you
painful to
still
watch,
feel
but-
so in
but
that
yeah.
world when you're
that's-
watching it.
I mean, that's the judge of a good movie, in my opinion. I mean, here we are, 40 years later, and I can still go watch that movie and be enthralled the entire time. Like, it's still a really fantastic fucking movie.
yes.
Whereas, like, now, I feel like, I mean, I love where movies are now. Like, I love how amazing, like, CG and everything is, but, like, I feel like a lot of movies just rely really heavily on that instead of
Yeah, like all
actually
green screen.
developing a story.
Yeah, for real. It's okay.
Cool. All right. So I guess onto that is the future of the franchise. So where Star Wars is going to go now that it's out of George Lucas's hands, who has already did a huge job of inflating Star Wars. I mean, there were toys already over the place, already all over the place. Now it's Disney, and they're going at like 10 times the steam that he was. So like, where do you guys?
Well, they're trying to like streamline. They're trying to make like a Star Wars movie every year or something like that.
They are. They have been.
Have they
Call
done
of Duty
it?
style.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
dude,
either,
it's
it's either been
real.
one.
Because it was like Rogue One, and then
Well, because Force Awakens came out 2 years ago.
2015.
Rogue One came out this past year,
Yep.
and then there's another one coming out this year. Yeah, it's literally every year, and
Yeah.
it's alternating. So it's like the overarching, like the trilogy
Yeah.
is like every other year, and then they're gonna like
Like the
splice
spin-offs?
in little,
Yeah.
not really spin-offs, but like side stories, kind of like Rogue One was just a side story, like how they got the Death Star plans.
Yeah.
I never actually saw it, but
I know.
I've been meaning to.
I feel like, I almost feel like we betrayed this podcast by not
We
watching
have.
it first. I really
Oh,
do want to see it.
You
so
haven't
I'm
seen
excited.
Rogue One either?
nobody,
Not yet, dude.
Okay, I've
I'm
seen
excited
it.
though.
Nobody listen
Yeah.
to this.
I
part
won't.
right
I
now.
won't give it away or anything, but I don't know.
It's all good.
We should definitely set a time to talk about it when you guys watch it. Maybe on the next
Spoilers.
episode.
Cool.
They get the plans.
Did it?
happens.
Now there's no point in watching it.
No, it's I've heard that it's not that great. I don't know. Like
I mean, I don't
like it
know.
was
I
kind of
didn't like it that
underwhelming.
much.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
super serious.
I'll give it a try though. You
Yeah,
know?
for
I need
sure.
I need to
Always.
form my own opinion on it.
I mean,
Any other thoughts on the future of Star Wars?
Like, are we gonna? Because I know one of your questions is about what happens in the next Star Wars.
That's the next question.
So it's okay. Well then, so to answer this one, I feel like we'll see more.
they're gonna
But
keep going.
Because they're also making a Han Solo movie.
Yeah, that's. I think that's the next
Yep.
off.
Yeah.
That's after.
Yeah. So after not Force Awakens, but whatever the new one
It's
coming
supposed
out this
to.
year
I think so. Yeah.
so next year basically will be the Han Solo.
Childish Gambino is gonna be Lando.
Oh, yeah.
I know. When I
So
saw that he got
cool.
cast for that, I was like, yeah.
Great. I think that's gonna be good.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right. So let's get on with the next one. Predictions. Y'all saw the last Jedi trailer, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you guys think? Like, what does the Last Jedi mean exactly? And what do you think? You know, if you had to, someone was like, "Well, how's the movie gonna end?" What do you think?
Well, I mean, there was a part in the trailer where you hear Luke say like something along
Something
the lines
about
of there
this-
should be no more Jedis. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
there like won't be any. So I'm wondering. I think in my head I could see him like trying to train her to basically like wipe out the Sith so that there's no need for the Jedi. Like without Sith without Sith and Jedi there's balance because they're both gone.
That's a good.
Whereas like I feel like the Jedi are always outnumbered now because there's always two Sith, but
Yeah.
Well, I've heard that it's more of
I don't know.
that he's like tired of it becoming this like religion,
Oh yeah.
and he wants to destroy like because like remember that the temple of the Jedis got destroyed in the last one, right?
The last.
The
What's the one?
the one in
that introduced
the one in
I forgot the name.
Coruscant where
Force
Anakin
Awakens?
trained. Is that
No,
the one you're talking
no.
about?
Like the okay. What's
Luke's temple.
I'm losing track of. They're all blended in one movie. What's the one that came out 2 years ago? The
Force
main one?
Awakens.
Okay,
Yeah.
in the Force Awakens, there's a shot when Luke puts his robot hand on R2D2.
Uh-huh.
He's in this area where like he found like the original Jedi temples, and they were all destroyed by Captain Hazmat. Who's
Hazmat.
what is it?
Phasma.
Captain
Phasma?
Phasma.
Yeah.
Captain Phasma and a bunch of badasses like
Yeah.
destroyed it, and Luke is like, oh, and I think he's like, it needs to go back to like a set of like values, and not such a like a religious
Yeah.
thing, you know?
I can see that.
Yeah. I
I know.
like that. Mine's I definitely kind of felt the same way. I think it'd be cool if they explored like the whole gray Jedi kind of scenario a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm explain to me what a gray Jedi is. I'm still not completely
Yeah,
100 on
we
that.
just watched a video.
I know, but I didn't understand it. So,
So
for the
it's-
podcast too,
It's
what is it?
like a lot of the guys on that list would, instead of dedicating their lives to like the Jedi code, like you were saying,
Oh, okay.
they dedicate. They're either like take their powers and just kind of go do their own thing, or they more like dedicate their lives to the actual Force above like all else.
Yeah.
That's what they said. Qui-Gon Jinn
I can see that. Yeah.
was like,
Oh, for sure.
which is why sometimes he didn't do what the council asked or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like a rebel within the council.
So that sounds like, I don't know. It sounds like how you're
Yeah.
expecting
Maybe.
Luke to
So
kind
he
of
might
be,
go
which is
gray.
kind of how the vibe I got.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. He does have a wicked like Jedi beard now, so that's
Yes, he does. Okay, so that was a good one. Our favorite characters. I figured we could do like a favorite Jedi and then a favorite like Sith character. You seem
My character's
excited.
both.
Revan.
Oh.
Right. That's
Yeah,
right.
Revan.
Okay.
cool. Okay.
Because
okay.
he like switches back and forth because he lost his memory and like all kinds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Revan's. Any listeners who like don't know who Revan is, like, his is probably one of the most interesting
No doubt.
Sith/Jedi storylines because he's just a badass and he was on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, Revan is pretty cool. And wait, so are we doing both?
Revan kind of was both, so I guess that's all. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. J-Mac has to
That's
say
all I have to
now.
offer. I mean, like
Yeah.
Revan.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Topic over.
He has a dope ass mask.
Two birds with
He
one
does.
stone. Yeah, he does.
Anybody
'cause he
that
was
wears a
a-
mask is cool.
Well, it's a Mandalorian mask.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because he. I don't know if he's. I think I might be misremembering, but I'm pretty sure he's like descended from a Mandalorian, or he killed a Mandalorian and took their mask.
Something like that.
Something along the line. Basically, like he was like, "You're not worthy of this shit. I'm gonna wear it
Yeah.
now." I'm
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
So
Okay, so my
lettuce.
favorite Sith Lord is Darth Plagueis,
Yeah.
the guy who trained the Emperor.
Nice.
Because he's just this weird looking alien dude, and I don't know, he just looks cool.
Yeah.
And he trained the Emperor, who's arguably, I guess, agreed upon that he was the strongest Sith Lord ever.
Yeah.
And so I think it's cool how the whole master apprentice trope in Star Wars. I love all that stuff.
Mm,
And then my
definitely.
favorite Jedi, I don't know. Qui-Gon Jinn's pretty dope.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
I don't know. I didn't even think of it. I was so focused on the Sith. I don't know if
Just
I
like
have
picking
a favorite Jedi.
character. Yeah, like Jedi's are the good guys. Like it's hard to like.
Well, can I have another
They're also
answer?
like cookie cutter.
Yeah.
I would say my favorite good guy is, y'all are gonna hate me, but I want to throw a curveball. I
I swear to
always
God, if you
liked.
say Jar Jar Binks, I'll
Yeah.
fight you right now.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Podcast over.
let me set it up though. Like,
listeners are turning it off.
You guys and getting him.
but when Star Wars Episode 1 came out, I was young enough that our parents drove us to the theater.
Yeah.
And I always thought Jar Jar Binks was great until when I got older, I was like, yeah, he's really racist and annoying.
Is he racist?
he's a very stereotype
Yeah.
character for sure of
Oh.
like indigenous
Lisa.
people, you know, and he's
Okay,
kind of
yeah,
kind
I
of an
guess so.
idiot, or he's portrayed that way in the.
I thought you meant like he's racist. He's like, I hate Mace Windu because he's black.
Yeah, he's like making jokes.
I heard Jar Jar say some really racist shit earlier.
Jar Jar.
But yeah, I don't know. What about you?
Okay, I can see where you're coming from. Like I liked him as a kid, for
Yeah.
sure. But so like I saw the first, what was it? Episode 1, I forget the name of
Phantom Minute, the Pod Racer one.
it. Phantom Menace,
Yeah.
yeah, Pod Racer 1, which
The pod races were cool.
introduced one of the
Yeah.
greatest N64 games of all time.
Yes,
Yes.
Pod
yes.
Racer.
Why did they not remade that game?
I don't know. I played that game
Yeah.
like probably more than any game I played in recent memory.
Just the same-
Like,
the
just
same-
the same stupid courses
Yeah.
over and over.
The
But
one that was in
game
the
so
movie. So they made it look a lot like
Tatooine,
the movie.
yeah.
I liked
They really recreated it.
Sebulba's the bad guy because it was like this like muscle car sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you could. I'm pretty sure he had like trick weapons and shit. Like you. Could,
Oh yeah, he was cheating for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, he was.
No, but like in the game, I think you could use his trick
Oh, really?
weapons. I just
He had
never figured it out.
think
Oh, yeah, the game- there
he
was,
did
like, a
some
whole-
kind of attack or something.
Yeah.
There was like a Gran Turismo side of it where you could like upgrade your pod racer.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I forgot where
So,
we were.
oh yeah, so we're on
you haven't
favorite.
given your answer yet.
Yeah. Okay, so my favorite Jedi. It's toss up between Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. I think Obi-Wan is my favorite though,
Okay.
because
Older, young Obi-Wan.
I mean, just it's all the same
All
guy.
right.
Yeah. Probably young. Okay, Ewan McGregor actually. He did a good job.
I like the old one. He's so creepy.
Yeah, but I don't know. Obi-Wan's tight. He's like exactly what a Jedi should be. You know.
Yeah.
Like he keeps his chill. He's
Yeah,
solid.
he has that wise, but he's not like super old.
Yeah, and he kicks ass. He mastered the defensive lightsaber form.
Yeah.
So
I like how there's different lightsaber forms.
yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah.
Mace Windu actually. That was going to be my other answer because
Yeah.
he mastered all the lightsaber forms and
Oh, for real?
created his own.
Dude, that's like some
And that's
Bruce
kind
Lee
of
shit.
hardcore. Yeah. Yeah. And then my favorite Sith Lord is Palpatine.
Okay.
Just mainly for his ability to conceal his evil intent
Yeah.
to everybody.
I'd say he's probably one of
Yeah.
the
Like-
most effective because he rose to like such power within,
Yeah, like politically.
like politically
Yeah.
within, like
Yeah.
without like revealing. Yeah, like everybody was like, oh, he's such
Exactly.
an honorable person. Like, let's trust him with these crazy amount of powers. Like, he can control all of it.
Yeah,
And then
slid right in there.
everybody everybody watching the movie was like, no, fuck no, he's so bad.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Little off topic, but did you know that there is a hermaphroditic worm named after Yoda?
Oh,
There,
cool.
there are like real biological creatures that were named after Star Wars characters.
Oh,
It's
that's
really
dope.
funny.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
I just laughed because it was a hermaphroditic worm.
Right.
Huh.
It's like Yoda something or other, but I thought that was funny.
That was funny. All right. So then, what we got next? Next one is, we don't have to go round table or anything for this, but it's like notable like fan theories. Any theories you guys might have heard? I thought they were interesting, so I figured we could bring it up. Like the one that people are trying to figure out who Snoke is.
The Mace Windu Snoke one is a pretty good one.
Yeah.
It's kind
People
of
think
like
that
those.
Snoke is Mace Windu?
Yeah, but you ever
I've not heard that.
you know how people draw those connections
So we
between
can blow
Kennedy
your
and
minds
Lincoln?
now.
Yeah.
How there's like Lincoln had so and so Kennedy as a secretary, and then he was driving a Lincoln when he got shot. That people kind of leap at those connections for the Mace Windu one.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's very convincing because they're saying like the way he died and how he uses both sides of the Force,
Yeah.
and like I don't know. There's like all these. There's a great YouTube video on this, which will be linked in the description, of course.
Cool. So yeah, like I don't think Mace Windu is Snoke. I don't think a lot of people seriously think that, but
It's a fan favorite.
someone
idea.
floated
He
out the
He'd
possibility.
be really old at that point too, though.
Yeah.
Like he'd be upwards in his 80s. But I mean, like,
Yeah.
well, and what was it? Like, Palpatine's master was the last one to be able to like control life and death, like to be able to like extend his life. So
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
with the death of him, like unless if it was Mace Windu, like unless he like rediscovered that application of the Force and could prolong his life, like I don't know.
Yeah. I wouldn't put it past him. He is a
I know.
Jedi master.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's definitely a lot of things like, well, you have to do this crazy thing in order for it to be
Yeah.
plausible.
Yeah. But one of the points that I think, I don't know, I hadn't really checked up on that theory or anything in a while, so I kind of forgot some of the points. We should have watched that before, but they talk about like George Lucas and Samuel L. Jackson sort of came to like a, under the table agreement that Mace Windu survived the fall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Even though obviously George Lucas didn't come up with Snoke, so
Yeah.
No, he
it's
didn't.
it's two different storylines, and George is no longer valid. But yeah, and then the other one I thought was really funny was the Jar Jar Binks was originally slated to be a Sith Lord.
Yeah, this one is actually really makes a lot of sense. Like, based on... Have you heard of this yet?
Nice. Okay.
I bet you hate it.
Fuck yes. We should have watched this one too before.
I'll try to
But-
find that link, too.
Oh, it shouldn't be hard. So one of the things they pointed to is that the similarities between Yoda when you first meet him and Jar Jar Binks. Remember when you first meet Yoda in Empire Strikes Back?
Yeah.
And he's so like, he's really goofy and weird, and
Yeah.
he's this like swamp dwelling
Senile.
fucking alien. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like they drop the bomb that he's this Grandmaster Yoda.
Yeah.
So people were saying like, fuck, where was I going with this?
He was slated to be a grand Sith. I thought
Yeah.
the theory was that he was supposed to be a Sith.
The Sith
evil
Lord,
guy.
yeah.
So the Sith Master, not
They-
the apprentice.
Well, this is a common like character theme of like the hero of 1,000 faces thing, where there's like the fool, the guy playing the fool.
Yeah.
They do this a lot in anime.
Yeah. They show scenes from the Phantom Menace, like during battles and stuff, where he like will just narrowly survive and wind up like taking out like 20 droids or whatever with some weird ass
Like drunken master.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just about to say.
Like
Masterful clumsiness.
I know.
Yeah.
What you're talking- I
Um,
can see that.
and then they also mention how like he kind of rises really high up in the Empire. I mean,
he's
in
like
the Senate.
he's like in the Senate meetings by episode 2 or 3.
Yeah, and he's always standing next to Palpatine.
Palpatine of the Gungans.
Yeah.
Rising to like the
That's
space
interesting. But how do you explain that whole scene with like the fat Gungan who's like, get out of here?
That's a really good
It's, like,
impersonation.
spinning. Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know. Shit.
But I want to believe it. I think because it sounds like George Lucas might have was trying to do that, but then there was all this backlash of how he's like a shitty character.
That's part of the theory too. Like people hated him so much that if he was set to be that, then George was like,
He caved.
we're
range.
gonna.
Or he could have kept with it, because then everybody would have been happy that he got killed
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah.
Well, and like if he actually revealed himself to be a Sith Lord, he would
Like, people would
he would
like-
do like Yoda did and drop the fucking silliness.
Yeah.
Um,
Ugh.
But what if
Jar
him
Jar
and
Yoda.
Yoda had a battle?
Yeah, it's just Jar Jar Yoda battle.
maybe maybe that was
He's
the
like, "You're
original.
so gonna die."
Was the first draft. But yeah, it's just a theory. So I wanted to touch on that, and I'm glad we got to show you that too.
Yeah.
There's videos out there that explain it a lot better than I do.
Yeah, there's like 30-minute video essays on YouTube about this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's another really interesting. Like I know a lot of like cult classics. Like a lot of like fans go like really in depth into the lore.
Yeah.
Star Wars is like, in my opinion, chief among them. Like people go so deep. Like they
Yeah.
dig and like they analyze like minute details. Like that spec moved. Some shit. Like, making connections where I
Yeah.
couldn't possibly imagine them.
That's where both of those theories I
Yeah.
think come from, but it was cool watching it and
Yeah.
kind of just considering what if.
Well, I know in more recent movies, who is Rey?
Oh yeah, that was the other
Who
theory.
is her? Like, what is her
That's-
lineage?
Do
Like,
y'all-
her parentage?
do y'all
I've-
think-
I've
Well,
read-
that's definitely the question, right? I bet they're
Yeah.
milking that a little bit.
I don't think it's Skywalker,
I don't think so either.
and I don't think it's Han Solo either. I've heard both of those.
Oh no, I think
I'm-
it's a misdirect. She's totally gonna be Skywalker's granddaughter, because it's Hollywood. They're gonna play it safe and have some bullshit like
I
that.
don't know. I've recently read that people are like proposing that she's a descendant of Kenobi.
Of
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan
Fuck
Kenobi.
yeah.
Oh, that's kind
Yeah.
of plausible.
Descendant of Ben Kenobi.
By the way,
That would
she
be
got the
awesome.
Force like real
Yeah.
fast. That would explain it, I guess.
I mean, I think they've done a really good job with the movies. Like, they're really making people like everybody's like, oh yeah, she's obviously a Skywalker, but then
Yeah.
they're like, wait a minute, I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think so because
Yeah.
Mark Hamill, he likes to troll people
Yeah.
and he loves
Yeah.
joking and shit. And during these like some of these press conferences and stuff, they'll be like, "Wow, you look just like my daughter," and like wink to the camera, like.
He's got a great sense of humor about
He
it.
does.
Yeah.
He's also the voice of the Joker in the Arkham Knight. Yeah.
He's like widely renowned as probably the best Joker voice about ever.
But he's
He's a really good voice actor.
like his voice acting is
Yeah, he's good.
he's in a lot of stuff. Like it's
Yeah.
funny if you go like he plays the Batman or Superman in like almost any like
Yeah, he does a lot of other
DC,
comic
yeah.
voices. Like he's
Yes.
done the Riddler a bunch,
Oh, cool.
and like, yeah, I know what you mean. He's good.
All right. This is a good one. Our personal issues with some of the movies. You know,
Okay.
plot holes, bad writing, bad acting.
episode 2,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just the fucking endless love scenes.
Yeah.
for no reason other than
Those
being love scenes.
those do make that movie hard to watch.
Oh, where
it's
he's
painful.
where he's like floating the apple and he eats it.
Yes.
Like the hour in the middle of the movie where they go back to Naboo and
they're
like
rolling
spend time
around in the
that.
fucking
Oh, and
valley.
he says that famous line where he's like, "I don't like sand." Of course,
Yeah.
gets everywhere.
Yep. That is like a meme
It's
now.
Yeah, it's like an infamous.
Such a good one too.
Yeah, my biggest gripe was with episode 3.
Okay.
Like, because when it came out, everybody was like going crazy, like, "Oh, like connects all the lines to A New Hope." Everybody, I didn't like it that much. It was okay. Like, they had all these parts where they could have had badass fight scenes, and they just gave up. Like, the biggest fight scene was like Anakin. He gets a bunch of kids, and then Yoda does like one fight, and
Yeah.
I know he fought the Emperor, but I feel like Yoda should have got more than that one fight in the last movie. You know,
Was that in?
you know where they
Was
fight
that in
in
the
the
second
lava?
or the third?
He fights
That was the third
Dooku
one.
in the second one, and he
That was
fights
in the second one?
Palpatine in the third one.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
He fights Palpatine in the Senate chamber, like in
Yeah,
yeah.
but I
yeah.
feel like he should have had
That was
one
a pretty
more
cool
big
location.
fight.
Yeah.
I think
It
that
was
was an
good.
awesome location for them to fight, though. on
But
a
it
side
wasn't
note.
enough. They spoiled us in this episode 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was and then the whole lava planet. That shit they could have cut out like a good 15 minutes of that. It would have been
That
fine.
fight.
It was just too long.
Yeah. I kind of felt like that for a while, but I think now, going back and watching it, I
Yeah.
really like watching that fight.
Okay.
Just because, like, it is...
I think the fights in those movies are probably the only real redeeming qualities of them.
For sure.
Yeah, I think they know that. They kind of
Yeah.
milk it when they're like, "Yes, we have the
They're like,
greatest lightsaber."
We can have
choreography.
so much better lightsaber fights now than in the
Yeah.
original movies. Let's do that. Who
Yeah.
needs a story?
That kind of brings you back to the whole CG thing. Like,
Yeah.
they kind of rely on it more.
It was a
Where
huge
back
crunch.
then they had to
Yeah.
work harder on the story.
Yeah.
You know.
That was one of my issues with the new ones.
I also wish they hadn't made the like ships and stuff look so technologically advanced
The spaceships?
In the
Yeah.
prequels.
in the prequels
Yeah.
because like everything is like all streamlined and aerodynamic, whereas in like
Oh,
sleek and
yeah.
shiny and
in the
shit.
original movies, like they're all
You're right.
boxy and shit.
Yeah.
Like I would have like
Well, it's
expected
because
it
they
to
made
be
it in the 70s.
worse. Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, like
Yeah.
they could have like stuck true to that and
Exactly.
honestly kept it like similar style or something, just like a little
Yeah.
different. Instead, they were like, "We're gonna make this all look crazy futuristic. Like this is 50 years after."
Well, you'll like Rogue One. It's all that old style.
Yeah,
Cool.
like the older ships are way better anyway. I didn't really.
I don't know. I liked it because all right, one of the best Star Wars games ever made ever.
Yeah, pod
Is-
racers. I know.
It was called Star Wars Rogue One, and it was on N64.
Yes. Yeah.
And there was a
didn't play
special
that.
code you could do to get the
You
Naboo
get all of them.
fighter
Yes.
from episode 1, and I always thought that was dope.
It was cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I did the Naboo fighters, the yellow one.
The yellow
right?
one,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that I like that ship, but not really any of the others. But that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying though. Like it's like completely
I
streamlined.
couldn't name any of the others. I know like the X-wing, but that's an old one.
Yeah, I mean all the TIE fighters, and
Yeah, the Tie Fighters are cool.
I like the captain ones. Where
The
it's
ones that are, like,
they're not-
curved?
The ones that are curved.
The one that's
yeah.
Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
cool.
I have like stickers of those on my
I would always
son's
do
bedroom.
that.
So you guys have probably seen. One of the things I don't like about the new one, The Force Awakens, was for the most part I really liked that movie, but the fact that they had a Death Star planet thing was
Oh.
such a cop out for
They need to move
Yeah.
away
to
from
writing a
Death
fucking
Stars.
yeah, like I don't know.
Well,
I'm
there's
not
there's
the
theories
first person
about
to
it.
jump onto that, but
It's like a carbon copy of A New Hope. It's
Yeah.
ridiculously similar. On all the
Exactly.
beats.
yeah, I don't know.
I did like how it used the sun as a power source. That was kind of cool. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, that it was basically just a big. I mean, what are they gonna do? I mean, that's like the ultimate weapon.
But
Yeah.
you're right though. They could have
To
tried
be
a
as
little
dirty.
harder. At least have like
And the
maybe it was like
laser-
a portable weapon that's not a planet size.
The laser was
Like,
like,
an antimatter bomb.
broke
or
off
something.
into this homing laser that hit a bunch of different planets. You remember that part?
Yeah.
That's not even a laser anymore.
Yeah, like exactly. What is that?
Well,
I know it's Star Wars, but come
Yeah.
on, you gotta explain this shit a little bit.
it was a fun movie though. Because I didn't think I would like it, but it was pretty fun, pretty good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like my biggest complaint was that the Rey, like it took Luke like 3 movies to become a good Jedi, and Rey figured it out in like one scene. She's like, oh,
Yeah.
I feel the Force.
Yeah, it was
I'm out of
pretty
here.
weak, too.
Let's be real though. Luke was kind of a pussy character.
He was in the first
Yeah.
in
Like-
New Hope. He's like, hey, come on,
Up
guys.
until he shows up and saves everyone's ass in what's his name?
the third one.
Jabba the Hutt's
Yeah,
like,
when he's in the
lair.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like when he shows up and like saves him, like up until that point, I was just like,
But
fuck you, Luke. Put Han Solo back on the
that,
screen.
that also might be another reason why those originals are so good, is because, like, think about if it was like you know, no one jumps into being a ass-kicking hero like just like that.
I
If you're
totally
a
would.
farm boy,
I feel like I've mentally
If
been
you're a
preparing
farm
for this
boy-
forever. Yeah. I don't
drinking
care.
your blue milk.
I'm a city boy. I'm ready to go fight some.
Was it blue?
Sith.
Yeah, it was blue.
Nice.
There's jokes about that. But I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. They progressed him from like a whiny
Yeah.
guy to, like, you know,
Yeah. To like a.
dressed all
An
sharp,
actual
showing
Jedi.
up and saving everyone's ass.
Well, doesn't. I'm remembering this right. He wears like black in the end.
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
third movie, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, where he like becomes all badass.
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
got like his mechanical hand and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
finally, you're owning up to your heritage.
Well, he's got a relatable struggle, right?
Yeah.
Whereas with Rey, we didn't see her struggle. We can't relate.
Well, we saw her like almost
She-
lose her
she
mind
misses
when
her
she
family.
touches the
Yeah.
lightsaber to begin with.
Oh, you mean that plot point that happens in the movie for no reason but the plot?
Oh yeah.
I'm bitter about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they didn't like address it again the entire rest.
Yeah,
of
where
the
she's
movie.
like, all right, this character needs Luke's saber somehow, and she's like, here, I fit this in an old chest.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they could have tried a little harder.
yeah.
Yeah. Another,
She could have found it in the Millennium Falcon or something.
Yeah, you know.
Like she's like repairing something and it like falls out of her.
Yeah, that would have been a
Like,
little
I literally
better
just
than
top
like,
of
here
my
you go.
that's funny.
It's like Legend of Zelda, where there just happens to
Yeah.
be the exact weapon you need to progress
Yeah,
within
yeah.
a dungeon, like that kind of shit.
Another thing I didn't like about episode 1 was, and I actually I didn't really notice this, but I noticed after I saw a video about it, one of the reasons that movie was like, I don't know, there's not really a main character in episode 1. Like,
Yeah.
It's not.
who would
Anakin.
you guys, well,
He wasn't not till episode 2. You're right.
yeah, you would think it could be Anakin, but like, he doesn't come into the movie for a long time until you fucking, you know, they
Jar Jar.
they get quite a lot.
You're right, it's Jar Jar.
It's Jar Jar. It's Jar Jar's story. Should just name it episode.
It was almost
Jar Jar story.
I see what you're saying though. It's almost like a team movie,
Yeah.
but like a DC team movie.
Oh,
where
like an ensemble.
they just like
DC
throw
team.
people in and there's like no build up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it starts out with Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Can there be like a buddy cop movie about Jedis, but they're like Jedis? I would watch that.
Yeah.
Can it be Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum?
Off topic, but
Yeah.
the new Kingsman.
Oh, is it good?
It's not out yet, but I
Oh.
just
Nice.
I saw. I'm super
That'll be
excited
cool.
that because that movie was
I never saw it.
severely underrated in my opinion.
Yeah.
You never saw it?
So
No.
Wait, it had Samuel Jackson in it,
Yeah.
right? Okay, yes.
He's the
that
villain.
movie is
It's-
so funny.
so it's
James.
Yeah,
it's
you
almost
really
like
gotta
a
watch it.
parody of like over the top spy movies.
Yeah,
Okay.
But
yeah, because
it's-
I thought it was like a kids movie when I first saw it. I was
But
like,
still
this is
very
bullshit.
badass.
No, it's very like the fight scenes are awesome.
And I know, what's his name? Sam Jackson is like an MIT guy who went mad or something.
Yeah, like
that's
he's
cool.
he's like the maniacal villain.
Yeah.
Like megalomaniac. Like he's like take any of the James Bond villains. He's like that, but like ridiculous.
Okay.
but if it was like Eddie Murphy,
Yeah, the new one looks really good though.
I like because it's going to show the American version.
Yeah, the
Whenever they
statesman.
have American versions of stuff, that's always cool.
That's what made me think of it. Channing Tatum is the statesman.
is.
It's Channing Tatum and Jeff Bridges.
Oh, Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges is
fuck
gonna
yeah,
be. It's
that's
gonna be
cool. Channing Tatum's, he's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I guess the last one that we didn't hit was that I had written down anyway was favorite movie. Like, anyone have a personal favorite from the franchise?
Yeah, episode 2 for sure. For me.
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, because all that when they fight those like animals in the arena.
Yeah,
I always like that. And then Natalie Portman was so fine in that movie. Like, and her midriff gets ripped off perfectly. She's like, oh no.
But that's the movie with the painfully long
The
love
sand.
scene.
It is. I don't really like the love scenes that much,
Yeah.
but
I mean,
the
I guess
battle,
I guess if you literally just like cut out that hour-long section.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's
I
also
agree.
where Yoda
I
visits.
love,
an hour
I love the
long movie.
arena.
Yeah.
I love the massive Jedi fight when they rescue them from the arena.
Yeah, that's when Mace Windu kills Jango Fett.
Yeah.
The
Jango
dad.
Fett, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Like I agree. Like that movie probably has some of the best fight scenes of the entire franchise.
Yeah.
But I like literally just fast
The
forward.
love scenes.
The love scenes.
Yeah.
It's so
Just the CG apple. I
was
can't
like,
get over
ugh.
that.
where he rides, like he stands up
yeah.
on the fucking.
Where they're like in a field and they're having a picnic and shit.
And he rides the thing and falls
Yeah.
off. Like,
Where are your Jedi skills? Like, come on, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty
And
weak.
then he acted all hurt, and he's like, "I fooled you."
let's roll down this hill together.
Yeah.
No.
All right, J-Mac.
Come back to me, man. That's a hard question. I don't know if I have really a favorite.
So,
I don't know what's going on. Hold on.
loud.
Continue. Talk amongst yourselves.
Damn.
probably been a while since you saw like the original trilogy.
No, I watched. My wife and I literally watched them all in order like this past year.
Oh, nice.
So it hasn't been too long. I would have to say. What's the. Damn. It's either episode 5 or 6. I'm trying to remember.
So that's either.
Mine would be Empire Strikes Back, just 5.
I think
Is that
that's-
when they're in the snow, right?
Yes.
Yes, because the snow speeders are so cool.
And the
Tauntaun.
the fucking Cloud City.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's when they go to Lando's. That's his place.
It's a trap.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Spoilers. It's a trap.
So that's episode number 6 then.
5.
That's 5, and then 6 would be Return of the Jedi.
Which is also really good.
Yeah.
The only thing actually that I can remember that I didn't like about that movie was how like critical the Ewoks were in the final battle.
Oh
That
yeah.
seemed very out of place to me, and still does.
Have you seen the How I Met Your Mother episode about Ewoks? And how,
Uh-uh.
like, if you're born before, like, 80 something, then you hate the Ewoks, but if you're born after it, you love them.
Yeah.
like there's some, like, conspiracy. Yeah. I love the Ewoks, but that's because they're, like, teddy bear puppies.
You could
but-
say that was like a Jar Jar Binks, like let's try to get the kids.
Yeah, it's a Jar Jar
I like-
Binks
yeah.
without giving them real speaking parts.
I liked how like they're introduced and stuff. Like you know they wake up Leia and then they threaten to like eat and kill everybody. Like that was pretty funny. But like I don't know, like throwing rocks and shit at the walkers.
Yeah, it's a bit
Yeah.
Disney,
Yeah.
for lack of a better word.
And they had like Home Alone, the fucking forest to hit them with logs and
Yeah,
shit.
that was a Home Alone kind of thing.
It's a valiant effort, but I don't think it would have held off the Empire.
Yeah, they
I
had
just
like
think it was an
this is like
unrealistic
an
ending to the fight.
infantry with
Yeah.
artillery.
The best army in the fucking galaxy.
The movies are described as epic space operas.
Nice.
Oh yeah, space opera. That's a
Yeah.
thing.
What makes an opera?
I don't know. It's more like
Just
like
that
a
it
show
being
like
a drama.
well, like a Firefly is not necessarily. That's like more like a sitcom sort of. But space operas where like epic love stories of
Yeah.
think of like Hamlet,
Firefly's
but in
pretty
space.
epic. I think it deserves that rank.
Yeah, it does.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Dang.
Battlestar Galactica.
Oh man, have you ever
You
seen
watch
that show?
No.
Really?
It's probably one of the best sci-fi shows you'll ever watch your whole life.
It took me a long time to get around to watching
I'm never
it.
gonna watch it.
Why?
Oh, you're not into it?
No, I just. It's a funny story, but apparently one of the cast members asked out my wife at one point.
Really?
Fuck?
Yeah, apparently.
Oh,
it was like
you
some
guys were together?
personal.
B character. Like he's not even a real. But no, not even that. I just.
While you guys were
I don't-
together?
No. Before.
So who cares, man?
I don't know. I don't have the time to invest in another series.
That's so funny.
The series is dead.
I
to
can't
him,
picture
okay?
who would do that.
Yeah.
She was kind of old.
It is good because
It was Adama.
I fought it. Like I fought it
pretty sure
for
he's
so
a
long,
redhead.
but my friend Ben got me into that show, and it's a space opera though.
Was it some old ass dude or something?
Oh yeah, he was like 40 or something.
What?
This was like well before my wife and I got
Interesting.
together.
He's a Cylon. Okay, so I have a legitimate thing I want to talk about. In the poster for A New Hope or A New,
Last Jedi?
the one. Hold on, no, I can remember
Oh.
it. The Force Awakens.
Okay.
Okay. John Boyega, the black guy, has a lightsaber in the poster.
Oh, yeah.
He uses a lightsaber in the movie for like a second.
Yeah.
I was very, very disappointed that they didn't say he was a Jedi. Is he not a Jedi? Is he a Jedi? He hasn't awakened.
That's a really good question.
There's a theory about it too,
He's a clone.
but that's not official.
He doesn't have rights.
What theory is that?
The theory is that he is the, if okay, this goes back to the Professor Snoke Mace Windu theory. It's coming back. They're
Supreme
saying
Leader
that,
Snoke, bro. Get it
or
right.
whatever. Sorry, they're saying that John Boyega's character is the son of Snoke, and he's because remember he was in Kylo Ren has a posse called the Knights of Ren, and they're badasses, and John Boyega starts in that,
Oh, that's like.
and it's like why would such a
Is that like Phasma's group?
it's
Or-
what's his face's group the red lightsaber guy's group.
Kylo Ren.
Yeah, I think Phasma sort of helps, but it's like Kylo Ren's group mostly. But like John Boyega was in that group. You don't get in an elite group like that and be an idiot. And so I'm not saying he's like pretending, but it's like they're saying that if he like, remember the part where Snoke says, "There's been an awakening. Have you felt it?" Mm-hmm. And there's a moment where. Right after John Boyega, remember he doesn't want to shoot them. They have a firing squad, and he like doesn't do it. Mm-hmm. Right after that, what's his name? The bad guy looks at him, and there's a moment almost like he feels the Force awaken in him. Mm-hmm. And so there's been theories that he is a Jedi, and he'll be more in the next one.
Maybe.
I want him to be a Jedi.
I'm kind of okay with him.
You don't care?
Not being, I'm cool with him not being one.
Yeah.
I mean, there has to be like a non-Jedi. Like I know there's the.
Yeah, that's
pilot.
Han Solo. Oh, he's dead now.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It's the
Like
other
he's
guy.
the new Han.
Oh yeah, no, it's the other guy. He's the Han.
Oscar, whatever.
Yeah, Oscar.
The pilot.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
So
He's cool.
I think I'm with you, man.
Yeah.
I think Finn is Force sensitive, and I think
Maybe he's gonna go dark.
That could be a way to go.
I think he's a Jedi Guardian,
Okay.
which in any of the games, they're more like the tanky,
Yeah.
more combat attuned Jedi as
Less
opposed to
Force.
Force. Yeah, Force users like Rey.
Yeah. Because Rey's like super. I mean, she like
Yeah.
tried using the Force for the first time and like mind controlled someone. So.
Yeah, give it a break.
Yeah. So
We'll see.
that's a good question. I want him to be Force sensitive too.
Yeah, at least something.
I just wish Kylo Ren had kept his mask on the entire movie.
Yeah, he was definitely
the minute
cooler.
he took it off, I was like, oh god, you're not intimidating in the slightest.
Yeah, it's like this emo guy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who knows? Maybe they'll. Does it have a few years until, or I guess a year or whatever till the next one? Maybe they'll give him time to progress and become badass.
Well, you know, him and Luke are probably gonna fight. Cause you know Luke tried to train him
He did,
a little bit,
Yeah.
and he was like, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Angst.
yeah, right. He's such an emo
Yeah,
teenager,
he is. The newest Disney princess.
right?
I wonder how much of a time skip they're gonna do between the movies, or if it's just gonna pick up.
I heard it picks up like 10 minutes later or something.
No shit. Okay.
Cool.
That's cool. Well, good. I don't want to miss any training. I don't know about you guys. I love seeing like in any kind of like fighting movie. Like I love the training scenes.
The
Yeah,
training
Like, you see-
montage.
not just not the montage, but like seeing like the methods of training. Like 'cause
Okay.
it's always different.
Yeah, like how Luke had that thing that shot the ball with the
the
laser.
little ball that shot him with a laser, and he sucked ass at it.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And they're gonna train on that island.
Yeah.
Because there's a shot in the teaser where she's like doing some bullshit on the end of the cliff, and Luke's like in the back with his hands crossed.
Classic.
I hope they
Yeah.
can coach her to look good wielding a lightsaber.
Yeah, I think her fight scenes were a little bit disappointing. I remember it, like, to promote it, she put some video on Twitter of her doing like a little bit of a routine.
Yeah.
And I was like, $8 billion, they better get a better
Yeah. She was trying to
fight
same-
choreography in there.
Same problem with Iron Fist.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Have you seen? He is a terrible. Like all of
You
the
don't like the
scenes
fight
look
choreography?
so badly choreographed. Like,
Maybe it's because I don't know. I thought it looks great. Is it crappy?
I don't know.
I was like-
just anything like when you look at him in particular, like
I see what you're saying. I can tell that actor's not necessarily.
He's not
You don't
Yeah.
get a
martial artist.
You don't
yeah.
get a vibe of like this is the actual greatest martial artist alive.
Yeah.
No, you
Which is
get-
what Iron Fist is.
Iron Fist. Yeah, like
He is the
any
best.
comic you read with Iron Fist, he's a badass. Like he.
Almost like they could have got like a legit martial arts guy to do the acting.
Well, that's what I'm
maybe.
saying. They
Yeah.
just need to give him a mask because he wears a mask in the comics.
Then you could
Then
get stuntman,
they can have
yeah.
a stuntman, and I mean that's what they did.
Probably with Daredevil. Yeah.
They're
Like,
doing that in the Defenders thing.
he doesn't have a mask in the Defenders trailer, from what I saw.
Well, Daredevil does.
Daredevil,
He's got that like old school mask.
Yeah. Well, and he wears like a scarf at one point or something.
Yeah, and they make fun of him for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, they need to give Iron Fist a mask so they can bring in a real
Stuntman.
stuntman or
That's the
martial
way to
artist or
go in
something,
movies. Oh, just have him put a mask on him.
Yeah,
Right.
it's fun.
And there was like this scene where they're him and his like girlfriend are like doing their like meditative stances and stuff, and like they're trying to do the same thing, but like they weren't even like fully in line and shit.
Yeah.
Like, you can do that shit. Like you guys gotta nail it.
I think they could have cast someone better.
Yeah,
That Asian girl's really hot though.
Yeah, she's pretty fun.
I think they just cast him. They were like, he was in Game of Thrones. It's gonna be popular.
Oh yeah, he was
He's
that.
Lorian.
He was the gay. Yeah, the gay
guy who was begging the
prince.
king
Knight
that
of
got
Flowers
killed.
or whatever.
The king that got killed by the spirit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about all that.
Yeah.
No wonder his face looks familiar.
Yeah. Lorian. Yeah, he's the super hot chicks.
Yeah.
Sister or brother. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay, so have y'all seen the Defenders trailer?
Yes.
I'm not
Man,
actually.
when you haven't, dude, like it shows because Iron Fist and Nick Cage, and he tries to hit him, and Nick Cage is like, "Bitch, please!" But then he charges his fist, and it shows Nick Cage getting knocked the fuck out.
Oh
It's sad, man.
It's like I gotta use my one punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another like you don't like he doesn't just like charge it up and use it once in the comics either. Like
Does he maintain it?
yeah, like he maintains it. Like he's constantly
Yeah.
breaking bones.
I bet you they did that for like budget. It would be so much more expensive to have a glowing hand the whole time.
I know, but it's just so like
Maybe
his
they'll
fight
just let him
scenes-
work up to it though.
Yeah, because have y'all seen Iron Fist, like all of it, or
Yeah.
okay, like at the spoiler alert, and when he does like the ground pound move,
Ground
that was
pound.
tight.
Yeah.
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 Wait, where did
He
she
could
do
have,
that?
at the end of Iron Fist, like one of the
Oh,
final
yeah.
episodes,
Oh, maybe
when they're
I
at the
haven't
top
seen
of
that.
that skyscraper, he punches and like blows all the windows out. Like
Oh.
he could learn how to use it more.
Nope, never mind. Haven't seen it all.
Oh,
Not a big deal.
well that happened.
The end
That's-
I
sucked.
really lost interest. Like 9 episodes in, I was like,
I had
oh.
trouble keeping up.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was like, oh, this really is bad.
Can I tell you how one of the last scenes goes? It's not that great. I just want to tell you this, share this funny part about
All
it.
right, yeah.
So,
Spoiler alert.
spoiler alert for Iron Fist. After all that shit's resolved, Iron Fist wants to take his girl to Kunlun so they can train. And so they're climbing this mountain looking for the gate or whatever, and Iron Fist's talking about it. He's all excited. He's like, "Yeah, this is gonna be great. If we make it in time, we'll even make it in time for afternoon kung fu practice." which is a line that someone wrote.
God.
Afternoon kung fu practice at Kunlun.
That's like a Kung Fu Panda line.
Yeah, like
Why is that?
I
Makes
laughed
it sound
so
like
hard when I
Like a yoga class or something. Like,
Yeah,
I would say that
let's
the
get to the
weakest
3
part
p.m. yoga class.
is the writing of that show. The writing, like the
The writing's
dialogue,
pretty
it was
bad.
like, oh god.
it's pretty bad.
I think they, yeah. That show in general, just I like that one. Aside from Daredevil, was the only one I was actually excited about because I was like,
I like the Meacham family though.
Yeah. And when that dude calls him a bed of vipers, the hand guy was kind of startled by them.
yeah,
Yeah. I was a really big fan of Jessica Jones too.
Really?
It took me by surprise.
I had the same with Jessica Jones. I got bored. 10 episodes in, I was like, this sucks, I'm done.
the villain is what got me.
Oh, yeah.
I mean David Tennant, but
Yeah, he's a cool film.
he's awesome.
So you liked it?
I enjoyed like literally like the order that the series came out. That was my like order and like how I liked them.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Like Daredevil was my
definitely.
favorite.
Yep.
Jessica Jones my second.
Okay.
Luke Cage got really weak for me towards the end, especially like
Yeah.
like Luke Cage started out badass, but then like by episode 8, 9, like I feel like they're like having trouble like
Keeping the momentum.
keeping the momentum.
Yeah.
Like with Daredevil, like it seemed like they just had it all planned out. And then Jessica Jones, like the writing was just really good. Luke Cage like started off really, really strong, and then like whenever spoiler alert, whenever what's his name was killed by whenever the
Cottonmouth.
whenever Cottonmouth was killed.
Yeah.
Like
Oh.
that should have been the finale of the show.
He was the best
They
character,
rushed that
too.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was awesome. Like he was a good villain, and then they were like, "Nah, we're gonna bring in this other guy from Luke Cage's past, but not really go into it very much. But he's like crazy."
But that, alright, spoiler, that fight at the end was so...
I don't know if I actually finished Luke Cage either.
They have this like bullshit like high school bully fight in the street,
Yeah,
and
they're
everyone's like cheering.
boxing in the street.
And like after all the stuff they built up with the different gun rounds, like they don't
Yeah.
explain any ramifications of that in society.
The Judas bullet. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that
That-
was cool. Like the technology, but I was just like, Cottonmouth should have had it.
They switched from Cottonmouth, who was like this ambitious,
Yeah.
really like likable, like fucking street lord, and he even had this one point in the show where he mentioned that he didn't fuck with drugs and he didn't want to sell drugs. Like he was above that, so like he had his principles. And they just like killed him off and brought in this like loose cannon dude who like
Yeah, he was like your
it's
typical
like, what's your
angry...
motive? You're his like half brother or some shit. Like they just wrote that
like-
story arc halfway through the season.
Yeah.
Plus the Cottonmouth, he always had these pimpin' suits.
Yeah, dude, the pimpin' suits is cool.
Well, and then
The style is nice.
What's the guy's name? Like, what's his like
Which guy?
villain name?
Diamondback?
Diamondback.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like they put him in
I guess they kind of mentioned him.
the super like retro Diamondback suit too.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
when he like goes to like when he goes to Pop's barbershop and is like wearing that lame ass suit. I was like, oh come on,
Yeah.
change it up.
The
I did-
Punisher, season 2 Daredevil.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
That
he's got his
was-
own Punisher show.
Does
Oh
he?
yeah.
Yeah, what's his name? That guy's a good actor, too.
Is it? Yeah, he was in Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he is the Punisher. He really stole the show.
He was good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was worried when they said they were bringing in Punisher because the Punisher movie was just
Yeah.
so bad.
Like when they introduce him and there's like this gang hideout and they're all like talking and celebrating some shit and then these wall of bullets comes through the window and
Yeah.
kills them all and it's like the Punisher. It's like it's like, oh, it's just one guy actually.
Yeah, I want to go.
Like
I'm probably gonna
I
watch.
imagine he had like a fucking like balcony with like 4 machine guns there.
Oh, yeah. He had
like a
something
sniper
set
for
up.
good measure or something.
Yeah.
He's just like
He's definitely better than the John Travolta one.
Yeah.
no.
Oh, John Travolta.
There's an older one in the 80s with Dolph Lundgren.
Really?
Yeah, that was like the
Is
first
Dolph-
Punisher.
He plays the Punisher.
He's the Punisher, yeah. It's like super 80s looking.
Yeah, I can see that.
superhero.
There was a
shit's been going for so
Punisher.
long.
There was one Punisher movie that was really good. It was Punisher Warzone. Did y'all
Oh, I
ever
know
see
what
that?
you- I know
It was
what
like a
you're
straight to DVD one. It was good.
Yeah, because that one came out after the other one.
Yeah.
Because there was one that was just the Punisher, and that came out in like early 2000s.
Yeah.
And then there was the Warzone one, and I did like that one.
All right. Well, we hit our time. I think this is a productive episode.
Yeah.
Episode 6. Oh, I got some kind of spiel I should read.
Probably. Nah. Bye, everybody.
It's over. Links to the sources are in the descriptions. I have a link to most of these Star Wars things. I'll try to find the Jar Jar Binks one.
Just Google it, lazy people.
Thanks for tuning into the Temporary Space Network. This is the Temporary Space Show, episode 6.
Yeah.
The Star Wars episode.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, bro.
Alright, yeah. So I guess we'll end the show. See you guys next time.
All right.
Later, guys.
Bye.